Starts with much bravado. Don't you know? You don't have to lay down your only life. I need to hear tomorrow. Is martyrdom the only philosophy? I can set you free from all that seems to bind. Years ago, you threw the key into the darkest nights, then hit the light to follow.
All right. So we'll fix this. It's live. Things happen. Like I was saying, I'm excited. I'm here with Jack Fuller, and we're gonna be reviewing Secret Society, the movie, and we're also gonna be reviewing the first episode of Real Friends of WeHo, something new we're trying. It's called Our 2 Cents. And I guess we can get into it. So the other night we watched Secret Society, and it's a movie that's on Tubi. And I guess we first became like familiar with the movie, or like knew the movie like existed from like this viral clip that's going around on TikTok. So if y'all haven't seen that, actually, let me pull it up.
This shit gets anywhere near your face, it hurts so bad, you try to pull your own eyes out.
Weirdo ass niggas?
Tina, you okay?
I am now, thanks to you.
What was that about?
They try to get me to show them my dick.
You say the craziest shit, yo.
I'm serious. Wait, you ain't know?
Now what?
My secret.
Are you for real right now?
So now that you know my secret, tell me yours.
Tell you my what? Shit, I'm so stuck on the fact that you're a...
Yes, all of that. Now just spit it out.
Tina, I don't know what you're talking about.
Just say it. I promise to make you feel so much better.
I have no secrets, bitch.
You're gay, Charles.
Why you say that?
You carry mace, my nigga, not a gun. I bet you that's Lady Gaga you're listening to.
And she was right.
I'm not gay.
Listen to me. Be true to yourself. You ever like that? Fuck them with both of our dicks.
So yeah, that clip went viral on TikTok and like Instagram and stuff. So like I saw it and I thought it was like, oh, it's gonna be like a trans and gay coming of age movie and a black one. We do not have one of those. So I was like mad excited. So I'm like, you know what? So went in the comments, found out what the name of it was. I was like, all right, we gotta watch this. So I put it on, and initially we thought we were watching the wrong movie because it started out in a way that was not this, like this was not the beginning of the movie. Then I did some like scrolling through, I was like, no, it is the right movie. So it's Misha Productions. Vivica Fox was in it. Jeremy Meeks, like Prison Babe, was in the movie. Erica Pinkett plays Tina, and I forgot the girl that's Celeste. I forgot the name of the actress who plays her. But for this to be a Tubi movie, Tubi has like a ton of like black movies. The acting in this was actually very, very good. So I will say that before we get into our like critiques of the movie, because we definitely got some. I personally thought the acting was like really, really good. Oh yeah, make sure you drop it in the comments. Hey Jay.
And if you're inboxing me, I'm on a live, so put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. We can have this conversation. Put it in the music.
I can't reach for my phone.
But what did you so before we get into it, what did you like about the movie? Or should we like give a synopsis first?
I'll answer your question. The movie, I like the acting was pretty good for a few people I hadn't seen. And that's about it. I mean, they looked great. The cinematography was good too. But that's about it. Like Luke's decent acting, some of Vivica's best acting. Even though that's not one of my favorite parts of it, but I will give her that.
But it was.
I will give her that. Some of her best acting done in a situation where she didn't have a partner to rely on. I'll say that. And otherwise, that's about it. Storyline, but what I liked was the acting and the aesthetic. The way it looked was really good.
If you're just joining us, we are reviewing. This is our recap and review of the Secret Society movie and the first episode of the Real Friends of WeHo. We are the Anukai Tree. Again, like we have a podcast, but it's a little side thing that we're doing. So make sure you check us out on Patreon. Make sure you check us out wherever podcasts are streaming. So go to Anchor FM/Anukai if you want to listen to all our past podcasts. We talk about everything from magic to sex to being neurodivergent and Black. There's a whole lot of great stuff we got there. So make sure you check out our content. And we're on YouTube and on Facebook and all that good stuff. So make sure you like and subscribe. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to tell the people to. Make sure you like this post. Make sure you share. And make sure that you submit and you comment the like button and subscribe so you know anytime we post a new video here on this channel. Yeah, the cinematography was also great. They had budget. They had a budget because they definitely went to a couple locations. There's also a part 2 that is if it hasn't come out yet, it's about to come out. So the movie looked beautiful, but it's basically about 2 trans girls that meet each other when they're kids. I think they're in middle school. Tina, who we saw in that video clip from TikTok, is already trans in middle school, is going by Tina, and we see Charles, who defends her from the bullies, who later on, who after he meets Tina, he's like, wait a minute, I didn't know you could do that.
Right.
Goes home to his mother and be like, so I met this girl. His
mother, Vivica Fox.
His mother's Vivica Fox. Met this girl, Tina. She's a boy, but identifies as a girl, and I think I want to do that too. And of course, Vivica gives that typical
a nurse, a
medical professional, mind you, but homophobic, transphobic Black mother speech.
All because of God. And that speech was the best fucking acting she'd ever given.
Are you saying I made a mistake? Are you saying God made a mistake?
She was like, your father, I promise your father it was just a phase, and da 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 da. You say I'm a liar, da 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 da. All this.
I lost my husband because of you,
right? And I'm just like, oh, girl, right? And it's like, the girls go through this. So at this point, I was like, all right, this happens. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at Vivica like, I've never believed you more in my life. I didn't believe you when in real life you were dating 50 Cent. I believe you in this moment, and it troubled me. And then knowing she's an exec producer on it too, right?
Yeah.
That gave me, that put a scent on it that I didn't particularly like.
But so far, still interested in the movie. We're like, okay, let's see where this goes. Basically, Charles gets kicked out of the house and transitions and becomes Celeste.
No T.
No T. Becomes Celeste, and him and Tina remain friends into adulthood.
No T, baby. Celeste.
Celeste.
Her name is not Celeste.
Sorry.
Which is an actual name. Celeste is not a name. I don't know nobody named Celeste. I know so many Celeste. Spelled with a T or with a T-E. So that was like, oh my God. Don't do that to the trans girls. They don't be doing that.
But they out here, they girl, and they working girls. Tina's already working the streets and brings Celeste into it. And Celeste says, why we have to do this? I gotta, like, why can't I just go get a job? And Tina's like, try go getting the job, putting down Charles, and Celeste walk in, which is a truth for many trans women out there. Like, it's hard to get like regular gainful employment, like as a trans person. So the girls got to do what they got to do. Like, sex work is a thing.
And at this point, I was still very confused as to the time period we were in, right? There was no like full, like, okay, like we could have surmised that because
well, she does say the year in the beginning of the movie when she wakes up from that dream. So it's 2020.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I heard 2020 at
Later.
the end when madness happened, but I missed that. And there's certain things that I'm interested in, people who are more on the transsexual side of the trans community, in kind of answering for me anyway, as to whether or not by time these people in 2020, right, would have had that much of a hard time just applying as themselves, again, like, these are working girls, there's a bunch of stuff, that goes on that we'll get through. And I'm going to, ask some questions as to like why they didn't do certain things to like be further along in their journey, in terms of just like legitimizing like who they are, on paper, even, to be able to go get a regular job, like a name change is a name change. Right. So at that age, it was like, okay, of course you couldn't, but eventually, but I
will also say, like, if you don't have at least some form of community around you, like if you're the only trans people you might not like.
Which that's definitely what it seemed like.
You might not have access to all that information, or whoever wrote this didn't like involve any like trans people in the process of developing the script. To like, because it would be, it is a little odd in this day and age that a person transitioning from middle school wouldn't be aware that you can change your legal name,
right,
and certain things. But that also requires money. That's not like a cheap process.
Oh, for sure.
So if they don't have the coin, that may not
But then even still, this is again why it seems to be a little off base, because it's like, okay, you might not have no trans people in your direct community, as in like you don't have no trans neighbors. But it's the internet.
Mm.
There's too many. There's just too many. Like there's so many things that like that happen in here that is like they don't have no trans friends. Nobody has like spoken to them about like the other things that it means to be trans outside of the body, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. Like they don't have, like, there's all kinds of things, which again starts to, which for me heightens that sense that Vivica's speech gave me, and her being an executive producer gave me.
It's and if you're wondering what we're smelling,
don't even reveal it yet.
Okay.
We assume that our people that watch us are smart. So I assume that at least, I don't know how many of y'all are watching right now, but eventually, if more than 5 of y'all watch it, I assume that 3 of y'all at this point have understood what's going on here.
Because we are doing 2 reviews. So sort of surmise this. So they're working girls. They're out here. They have a couple different high-end men clientele. They wrote in like a prospective basketball player and his brother, I believe, who's like, like an up-and-coming like dope boy. He does he does something else. I don't know. Maybe it was bothered with Jersey Leaks and some other light-skinned dude. None of the men that they're dealing with, none of their, like, some of them are clients, some of them are like boyfriends.
Kind of, but they're pretty much just taking advantage of everybody.
They've disclosed the fact that they're trans too.
Yeah, no one knows.
There comes a point where Tina was just like, okay, these two white boys have been trying to holler at us. Like, I've known him a while. They trying to take us out to LA. So they fly out to LA.
Before that happens, excuse me, before they go to LA, the Tina's boyfriend of the two light skins, comes to the house. She's like, nigga, like, you don't come up in here rolling up on a hoe, da, 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 like, you never just pull up on me, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, chasing her in the room. No, this happened even after she got beat up by that other dark-skinned dude. She got beat up for stealing from somebody. Tina got beat up for stealing from somebody. And then some weeks later, her boyfriend, light-skinned basketball player, corners her in her room. Is like screaming at her through the room, the door to her room, and is like essentially saying like, "I know you a man, this, that, and the third, da 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 da."
Oh yeah, they went to the barbershop. They chilling in the back of the barbershop, smoking and drinking, and some dude was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta watch out for some of these girls out here in Atlanta. Like they don't be girls. Like these two. I heard of these two pretty bitches from Philly that got chased out and came down here." Like look just like bitches, da 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 da. And that whole conversation. Can I say the word now?
Yeah.
Well, that whole conversation was completely transphobic.
Right. And
I do know it's an honest conversation. I do know that men sit up and parlay and talk about women like that in that fashion, like in their form and shit. Men gossip too. Don't get it twisted.
Especially in a barbershop. And it's all homophobic and misogynistic. It's never actually tea. For the most part,
tells basketball player kid and like his brother their names, and they're like, "Oh shit!" So they roll up on them, and roll up on Tina, and like
rolls up on him by himself. The other one is in jail.
And he goes to jail and was like, "Don't ever look at me. Don't ever talk. Like, don't ever like try to talk to me."
Right. He's like, if I see you on the street and you look my direction, I'm killing you right there. All kinds of stuff like that. So then
they go to Mexico with the white dude.
Yeah.
Well, no, they go to LA and they was like, let's fly to Mexico. Like when? Like now. They eat in lunch or whatever. They fly out to Mexico literally for dinner. They have like this boat mansion, this floating mansion. White dude proposes to Tina. Celeste goes back to Atlanta.
These white dudes know their tea.
Know their tea. Love it.
Love their tea.
Really super into it. Literally 2 nights proposing to him. He was like, yeah, everything I want. Like, I don't have to try to like hide you. You have what I also like. I can take you out in public, which was racist, but he tried to present it as a compliment.
It was racist and internally homophobic and honestly also transphobic.
Yes.
This is like that
it was we sniffed the wind and then it starts blowing.
And then it just starts like being like a thing of stink spray just like in your nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you like, okay. And I know a lot of my trans girls and trans femmes like wind up accepting or having to accept these like kind of like flawed mindsets as it pertains to your womanhood, right? Because up until this point, we've also heard these two women refer to themselves as men on multiple occasions. Whenever they're trying to say, oh yeah, like this man, he can't find out that I'm a man. When
I was like,
it was just like, girl. Eventually I'm just like waiting for them, right? I'm just like waiting for them to like grow into some idea that they're women, or like grow into some idea that like they should be calling themselves something more woman aligned because that is what they are. And on top of that, bitch, until somebody gets to see your dick, nobody tells that you were born anything else. So don't like, it's not, why call yourself a man so much? It was like they had did it like 5 times up until this point.
Right. And honestly, the whole sort of storyline of them just being like not in the habit of disclosing to the men that they interact with as a general practice is a cap. Because even the like trans girl sex workers that I know, niggas know what's up.
Right.
They know what's up, or like if it gets to the point where it's gonna be said, they tell them what's up. Like generally, and like when you're dealing with straight men of a certain caliber, you have to like be selective about when you disclose to these niggas, but it's not like they don't. And I don't like that sort of narrative being put out there. Or like they would only tell under duress.
Right.
Or something like that. Whereas, okay, Celeste goes back to Atlanta. A dude that she deals with, like that actually got her the apartment that she lives in, rolls up in the house. She ain't give him no key, mind you. Like he just rolls up on her.
Oh, you skipped so much.
I know, but we gotta.
Okay.
We can't do like the entire.
I mean, there's some things that are in the middle, like when they like. So after Tina got engaged to main white boy, I don't. Did we get his name? Yeah, we did, but I don't remember. Celeste flies back to Atlanta. She gets a phone call from one of her clienty boyfriends that
she gets to her car is going.
And she gets a call from him, and he's like, bitch, where you been at for a week? Like you've been ignoring me for a week. And she was like, oh, I was out in Mexico, da 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 da. Like I'm gonna be back to the house in an hour. So he rolls up when she gets back. He's like, you know, trying to like get all like with her or whatever. He's like, what, you got another nigga or something? And she's like, no, like I'm just on my period. And he's just like, bitch, you on your period? So he goes to the bathroom. He was like, where the pussy plugs then? Where this, where that? Girl. And so then she started backing up and goes to grab a knife. He comes up and like stops her and tries to calm her down and is like, girl, like I know, I understand, I get it. I'm down with it. It's not a big deal. They make love. She, you know, goes to take a bath. He leaves, gets shot in the head.
Literally goes.
This was her chance, niggas.
This was her dream, nigga.
Like
this was. What's the like that? This is the trade that I imagined.
This is the trade she imagined. Okay.
And it was cute too.
And he was adorable.
Like he went to go do some work, and
they popped him with a silencer too.
And I was like, no, not her ghetto love fantasy.
It was too much.
Wow.
So she's going back to the wedding. She's pissed because she thinks that he's just playing games. She comes back, finds out he's dead.
Yeah, shot in the head.
Shot in the blood fire head.
We broken at this point.
Right. So
she's broken.
She's the most broken. So so it's Tina's wedding. She goes back, walks Tina down the aisle, whatever, comes back, calls the hospitals to see if he's in the hospital because Tina was like, bitch, is he okay though? Like, had you thought that he's okay? She's like, no, he's just playing games. She was like, oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Goes to the they say to call the morgue. She finds out he's dead. It's all bad for her, this, that, and the third. She's in the tub mourning that nigga. Then the nigga that bought her the house in which the tub that she's in is in comes in because she's been ignoring him for so long. She's like, nigga, you don't even got a key. Like, how you in here? Da 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 da. She's trying to essentially cover her dick and make sure he doesn't see her dick. He keeps like inching closer to her. She's like, go away. And then she uses what they call excuse number 3 and claims that she has HIV. And the man, I mean, like, you know, like honestly, Celeste has been seems rather lucky in terms of like her clientele, and she just don't know who she got. Like she's young, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and she's afraid, and she's been afraid because like the only time that she's been able to identify as herself has been in survival mode, right? So she don't realize that like it's not that this man is gonna accept that you have a penis. It's not that this man won't get violent if you tell him, but she's like talking to him kind of crazy and like approaching him real wild about like not coming into the bathroom. And it is a little crazy that he just showed up, but he did buy you that house and you've been ignoring him. And he's essentially a nice guy. When he left, he was like, I understand. I can't say I understand or whatever. I know it must be hard what you're going through, but I know I deserve to find out better than this. And I was like, yeah, like if you know what I'm saying, you could have like been like, back up. I'm sorry. I'm scared for you right now. I need you to back up. And then been like, wow, or just like told him like, okay, go. I'm gonna be out in a second. I just have to get ready. I'm not feeling myself today, or something. Like you could have,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like chilled a lot and kept your client and not had to lie about about him, and then at the same time re-stigmatize a whole disease and all kind. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, what is this movie actually doing? At this point, I was like, okay, because I usually good at seeing 2 seconds of a movie and being like, this is how it's going to end and this is what it's doing. I did my best to give it the benefit of the doubt because it's Black. Did my best to give it the benefit of the doubt because it is telling a trans story. Again, like we don't see too many Black trans stories, period. And then I didn't do the research or anything, but the girls seem to understand at least what it is like to be a trans girl in their body. Like there was something like I could feel, you know what I'm saying, like that from them. And if you know what I'm saying, if that was an acting thing, then it was like, well, these bitches are going. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, I had been trying my best to not like to just strip all the things that I was seeing that was going to be like, this is a movie that is pushing a transphobic agenda. At that point, I was like, what are y'all trying to say?
Right. What is this about? And pretty much how it ended was NBA dude's brother gets out of jail and comes looking for them, shoots and kills Tina.
Shoots in Scar Celeste.
Like got her like
grazed
in the like grazed on the cheek. Her husband is like mad rich, they're like billionaires. Left her a house in LA. And she moves out to LA.
And this nigga that she was fucking with wasn't charging, but she was like at one point she had like got her like mind right, you know, as the street girls get, you know, our mind right, be like, okay, no, fuck it, let's go to work, right? And went to work and was working, and at the time she was doing too much alcohol, and then she ran into this dude Michael.
I forgot about
helped her, who was trying to help her get home. She passed out, so he had to take her to his house. And he let her sleep in her son's room, and she started getting attached and getting all feelings or whatever. And she tried to tell him. And again, in the restaurant, they invited Tina, and this is before they got Tina got shot. They invited Tina and her husband for more support. In the restaurant, she goes, "I just wanted to tell you, I'm a man." And then he goes, "What?" And then she goes, "A juror. I'm a manager. I told you that I owned a few nail salons, but I just manage a hair salon." Right? And it's just like, stop calling yourself a man. And then eventually she gets to having to tell him, because he's talking about introducing her to his mother. And then she reinforces herself as a man to him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, again, say trans woman. Say woman of trans experience. You know what I'm saying? You could have just started explaining it. When she started explaining, I was born a boy named Charles and now I'm Celeste, da 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 da. That's all you had to do. That would have been less transphobic than constantly every single chance that you got calling yourself a man. And it's not even like I'm talking to the character, I'm talking to the writers. What the fuck? What were y'all doing? Who are y'all? Because now it's like, now that we've done this live, people are going to expect me to know. And everybody who knows me know I'm a researcher, and I'm about to find out who y'all are and really understand what's going on. And we're going to see what the fuck y'all was trying to say. And if y'all have trans experience or are no trans people or anything like that, y'all need to get together and realize that like, especially up until that point, like, that's harmful.
It is. It's so.
That's harmful. And whatever shock value you felt like you were getting, because it does deliver the shock value every time. It's not a shock value that gets tired, right? But whatever shock value that you feel like you were getting is not worth the harm. It's not. You want, if you're the kind of person that wants trans people to not be deceptive, and that's what you're trying to say and all of that, that's not helping. That's making it a lot harder. That's giving them more reasons to be deceptive, because now people are expecting that. So yeah, then shot in the head, grazed flesh. She goes to see her, or she's in LA, she's going to her new house, and then the movie ends with dude Michael calling her.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, when she disclosed to him, he freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And
he freaked out in a rather respectable way. Like, he didn't like cuss her out. He didn't say, "You dirty nigga," like, "Fuck you," like, "Show me your dick," and start ripping it. You know what I'm saying? Or anything like that niggas have done. We've seen and heard crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? He said things that are just like, you know, okay, yeah, this is transphobic. You know, like, you let me introduce you to my son. You know what I'm saying? That I was like, yeah, like, you would introduce you would introduce your girl to your son. It's fine. You would introduce a person that you know to your son. It's fine. If she was a friend, you would introduce a friend to your son. It's fine. That has nothing to do with anything. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's you know, he did spiral, but he wasn't violent. He told her to get the hell out.
Thank God.
And that was about it.
It could have gotten crazy. It didn't. I'm interested to see part 2. Like, the little trailer I saw, seems like she gets up with the LA girl, and they might just, like, you know, run and do the same thing again. So like, if we watch it, we'll let you know. I'm
gonna do research into these writers and directors before I even agree to watch that.
But if you couldn't tell, we're really fucking disappointed.
So
it was like, oh, y'all bamboozled us.
Yeah.
Y'all really like slid, like literally hard slid, like sliding the home plate, the transphobia in at the middle of the movie, and then just hit it on a button. And I'm like, yes, this is someone's trans story. In 2020, I don't think so.
That's what, yeah, like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, and even if it is, I'm sorry, sis. If you out here living that now, because I, like, for me, like, I came up 90s, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm only 34, but like, nonetheless, like, I was out in the world when I was a kid. So like, I seen some things. This is feeling 90s, early 2000s. This is not even feeling 2010s. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. There were kids that were completely, you couldn't tell what the fuck they were. There were intersex kids that actually were allowed to be intersex. We didn't know that they were intersex. I knew them continually, and we grew up, and they wound up revealing in like high school and middle school what was going on with them. And it's like, okay, great. But so we had all this like weird gender shit happening. It wasn't like, you know, we didn't have any like idea about chemicals as kids. We didn't know that there was something that you could do with the doctor. You know what I'm saying? If there was something in you that felt that you could be another gender, but nonetheless, like, gender fuckery was happening the whole time. And when those people grew up, when we grew up, people got into the street. And when I was out there in the street, especially when I was a sex worker in middle school, high school, working through all of that shit, you're seeing, I'm looking at this story already. That's why I'm like, girl, I pray, sis, if you don't have an internet community that could at the very least make sure that you won't ever call yourself a man again, I hope you see this video and follow us,
please.
Because fuck, not in 2020 to 2023. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, Pam.
No, thank you. But yeah, so check it out. It's on Tubi. It's free. You can literally type in Secret Society movie and watch it like not right now. Like watch it after this one. But we're gonna
Hey, come back to the video and tell us what you think. Like,
yeah, definitely drop that in the comments. Let us know. And also with that in mind, yeah, don't forget to share this video, like, love this post. Loves go far, and make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that way you know anytime we post a new video on this channel. Yeah, all that great thing. Oh yeah, so if you're just joining us again, this is our 2 cents. And we're reviewing. We just reviewed the Secret Society movie, and now we're going to talk about the Real Friends of WeHo. Wait a minute, did I skip a slide? Oh no, I didn't.
Lord have mercy.
So the real, that premiered last night on Logo, and
The queer content.
we watched it because they're really trying to make this thing happen. They tacked it onto the end of Drag Race for that like last minute rating, that ratings pull in the credits, and put it in between Untucked. So you kind of like have to watch it if you don't want to miss any of Untucked, because Untucked also starts mad quick after it. Like, we peep what y'all doing in
which
TV.
is disrespectful. Yeah.
Y'all trying to, they be passing Drag Race around via like a loose bottom, like that lays golden egg, because it does.
I can't.
How you just leave? I'm like, wait, what's happening? I've been left. They probably went to people. How rude. But yeah.
That's how little the queer content is contenting out here in TV land, because the girls on the internet are fucking killing it. TV land, y'all got me ready to fucking walk out. Like, what is going on here? Who do y'all like? This is the thing. Yeah, like, who do y'all think that we are, and how dare y'all think that? And I feel like that's a constant problem. It's about to be a little therapy. Thank y'all. I'm chilling. I'm kidding.
Well,
but at the end of the day, yes. At the end of the day, who do y'all think the queer community is, and how dare y'all? This is getting so tiring. From the Bobby Lights to the A-list back in the Logo days.
Let's get into that, because this whole concept has been tried before. Logo had a show back in like the mid 2000s, I want to say, called the A-List New York, and there was also a spin-off, the A-List Dallas. The trouble with these shows, and also why, like, there haven't been too many male-centered, even like gay male-centered reality shows, is because when you get, to put it simply, I guess, when you get the mix of like patriarchy, toxic masculinity, and then creating good television all into one, that's a recipe for disaster, because inevitably they're going to fight. No matter what high class caliber of man you get, as we saw with the A-List, these were rich motherfuckers. They ended up fighting,
right? Like,
brutally. Like, some of them like snapped. They got like a little spinoff. Same thing happened in like pretty much in Dallas. And then, like, even the one in New York got racially really weird, and they tried to add like black men to the cast, and it got crazy. And even when you think of like male-centered reality shows like Black Ink Crew, they scrapped, as we saw with we also seen with Bad Boys Los Angeles, and like Bobby I Love You Pearl, which is a dating show. That you blend those things, and fighting is going to happen, and you can't stop it, and it's dangerous because you're making television. Mm-hmm. So like, there's not that many. So I'm like, oh, y'all gonna try this again?
And I'm sorry, y'all could say whatever y'all want, but all you reformist ass niggas, I know y'all know how much this set y'all back. Like, this is setback Tina.
Like,
this
out
is
the gate.
Setback Tina. Because it does a whole bunch of things. It shows all kinds of shit. Like, oh, like there's all these people out here that are just not smart that like get to be whatever way, like they know how to make money or they know how to make you like interested in them, and that's the only thing that like they're like good at.
Right.
But they're not good at anything. They have nothing of interest. They're not actually smart. They don't know how to have interactions whatsoever. They don't know what engagement truly means, and then again, it causes conflict, which then causes fights.
But those people are great for TV.
And if you have even one person, right, and if you have even one person that's even remotely intelligent people are offended by stupidity. They're like, why are you stupid? Like that's really for the most part how intelligent people be feeling when they encounter like stupid engagements. They're like, wait, how is this possible? Why are you this way? And then like people who are actually dumb feel like they have this entitlement to like say what they want to say, and that's all well and good. But then when you get shut down and look stupid at the same time, now you want to fight. So if y'all keep doing that model, that happens with the girls. It happens with the girls too, but not nearly as much.
It takes longer for women to get to the point of violence, which creates like you could have seasons of good TV before women will like actually get to the point where they lay hands on each other.
Because there's more at stake.
With men, it can be sometimes it can be a matter of weeks, or like I give the show season 2 before they start like fucking each other up. And they got to can it. I give it 2 seasons. This season is gonna like air in its completion because they want to survive. They've tagged it onto Drag. They've done all these things to ensure that they get enough ratings to do another season. Now the next season, with this cast, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about who we got here. So we got Tadrick Hall, the master of messy himself.
That you just know from Big Brother. That you know, like if you saw Big Brother, to me, like you're not only the master of messy because of how you played the game. You're the master of messy because of how proud you are of how you played the game. And then you're so proud you didn't have the freaking humility to not literally monologue like a villain your whole plan at the end. You could have won had you shut the hell up.
We also have Dorian Renaud. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Don't give me the lion.
Dorian Renaud. Renaud. Joey Z got Brad Gorski. So Dorian is he has a skincare line, Butterface, which is really popular apparently. I've seen the advertisements, like I've seen the ads. I haven't like tried it myself or like know anybody who uses it. Doesn't mean it's like he's obviously immensely successful, but that's a shady bitch. And like he also has like
social anxiety,
which can come across as like anger in black men, I think. But like, we're not allowed to show a bevy of emotions. Yeah. So there's that. We got Joey Zalzig, who is an influencer. Never heard of him in my life. Like I guess that's white people, TikTok, whatever. But apparently like he's really, really popular. Brad Gorski, who's a stylist, who's also like a judge on Canada's Drag Race. Chris Hamilton, who played Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Has been in like mad other stuff. Like he's actually really popular right now. He's on Insecure. He had Issa Rae up in there on the first episode.
And this is his coming out.
This is coming out. Yeah, he wasn't out.
Welcome out, sir. You'll stay younger even now that you don't have that secret anymore.
Bearing the weight.
You might go through a little, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we'll get to see whether your parents and things of that nature are okay as the seasons go. But hopefully you don't, go through that random 2 months of aging, dealing with the parent stuff, and then the elasticity returns when you let it go.
Jake said, "I'm waiting for Charter to come out as transracial." I think he already did, sis. That's
He might as well have.
I'm not gonna go there with Todrick.
I have so many things about Todrick.
I'm not.
I respect Todrick Hall on mad levels.
Artistically,
and this is why. And sometimes artistically, I don't. But like, I respect Sandra Cole on mad levels. This is why my critique of some of his work, that America, whatever the America reverse like whole visual project, oof, just missed the mark conceptually. It was it's good music. He sang his ass off. The visuals conceptually where there was a mark missed, because that's not how we would have looked if the roles were reversed.
Right.
You know?
Those wouldn't have been the standards of beauty.
Like, why would we allow white people to keep their straight hair if we were enforcing Africanness? Anyway.
We also have James Vaughn, who is like a television host, and I think like sometimes like a news reporter, and like a radio host. He has done like game shows, I think, too. He's married to dude from Mean Girls, something Bennett, I want to say. Help me out here in comment lane. Y'all know the white people names.
Y'all know I don't. Yeah.
What's Jonathan Bennett. I was like, I knew it was something plain. Yeah, that's his husband. And the claws come out, girl. Early. I'm like, I give it 2 seasons because they're gonna let this rock and they're gonna try it again. They're gonna change some people out. Like, this whole cast not gonna make it to season 2.
Okay. You think it's gonna be 2 seasons before an actual fight, or 2 seasons before
a physical fight?
Before
yes.
It gets physical? Because there's 2 things, right? Because to me, it getting physical means that I have somehow affected your physical body, right? Mm-hmm. From wherever. So like drink throwing, purse throwing.
Oh no, yeah, season 2, like that, yeah.
You don't think that's happening this season?
No.
Oh
no. They're gonna hold it together. They're gonna try, because a lot of them. This show was to repair their reputations. Todrick, I think. I
don't know.
What's his name?
I think I'm.
Dorian is also trying to, like, repair his image, or like, not repair. I don't know what his thing is, but like, show himself.
I think among men, especially with how early the claws are coming out, like, we didn't even get to see them like each other. We didn't get to see not a single one of them like each other. We got to see them like be like, oh, okay, yeah, like, we're cool. Okay, this is what's happening today. Awesome. This is what's going on. The only people that we got to see like each other were Todrick with the Drag Race girls. Right,
and
because
then Dorian and Chris.
I don't think I got to see them like
Dorian
each other.
And Chris. No, but they're already friends. They've been friends for a while. Remember?
But I don't know, when they were sitting there talking, it was like dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like dry experience after dry experience after dry experience. Catfight or little faggoty. You know what I'm saying?
This fiance that Joey got, I don't believe it, girl. I was like, where did you hire this man? What temp agency is this fitness model from that you've hired to be your fiance? Because it don't seem real. And the production also is very heavy-handed. Like, they're like production is clearly creating the story. These are clearly men that would not cross paths like in WeHo in any stretch of them. These would not be friends at all. And that happens. That's the way they do reality shows in like a lot. But like sometimes, most times it's a connecting thread. And I'm just like, the only connecting thread is they live in the same place. But and like, but it's also in a bad way. Sometimes like people who never mix and like there's like there's like chemistry there.
Which Dorian said almost like the most interesting thing that happened is that Dorian is essentially having an anxiety attack and not calling it what it is. It found some random strangers who looked safe, right? In that he could probably sit on them, right? And starts talking to them. They're not even cast. Right. They know that it's at one of them's engagement party. Joey's engagement party. They know, you know what I'm saying? They know Joey or whatever, but it doesn't seem like they like are so in it that we're gonna see them again. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout the season. It's like why are you talking to these people in the first place? But he's talking to them and like pretty much is explaining that like his social bandwidth is not where it needs to be as, you know what I'm saying, party animal as he would rather be while being there. Right. So he does what somebody in that situation does. Floats, says hey a little bit to people, don't invest, goes get a drink, sits by the bar by themselves as much as possible. Because I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's actually paying attention to that person who is the wallflower and is alone. Right. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? And the person that cares is going to go over and be like, hey, what's going on? You want to dance? You want to and try to shake them a little bit loose and try to make them feel comfortable. And in today's day and age, everybody knows enough about a fucking anxiety meter and bandwidths and this, that, and the third to be like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe literally the best thing for this person is to stand on the wall. Like, but no, here comes Joey. Because one of the girls he was talking to told him that, you know, he's like, you know, feeling like, you know, not like into a party right now. And what did she say? She said something. Oh, she said he said he likes you. He just, you know, is feeling a little low right now or something like that. Yeah. He goes, okay, I'm gonna go take care of it. And it's like there's nothing to take care of. So he goes over there and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna like see what's up. And then he goes, hey, yeah, what's going on? Blah blah blah.
Chris said he should do it. By the way, and I'm like, Chris, no.
And again, I'm like, what are you supposed to be your friend?
No.
You must not know him. You know what I'm saying? You must not know him or actually fuck with him enough to actually have internalized his anxiety. If you know that he has it, if you don't know that he has it, to me, you don't know him.
And it got messy because it was like, if you're not here for me and whatever rental boyfriend's name was, right? Bryce? No, could be. Odds are high.
No, I said right.
Oh, and it's like, no, like I am. I'm just like, you know, a little like anxious. Like I haven't been out. He said it like a couple times. Right. I haven't been out like since the pandemic, so it's like one of my first times like out, and I'm like nervous. And
he goes, well, can you like table that for tonight? And it's like, what? Like, what? And this is what I mean. Like, how do you not know how to interact? You came up to him kind of crazy, actually. Right. Talking about like, yeah, can we just not have any of that tonight? And then he was like, any of what? And he was like, oh, the standoffishness and you just like being alone and da da da. He was like, well, like Pat said, I'm nervous, and like really calmly explained to him what was going on. And then he just like stuck to his fucking gun and was like,
I don't want that. I don't want any of that.
I don't want any of that in my house. Da, 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 da. And then he was like, okay, fine, I'll just fucking leave. And he's like, oh, you're gonna leave? And then now suddenly y'all are having a fight, and it's like, see, this is what I mean. Like this man, you know what I'm saying? I can't say he's super intelligent, but he's intelligent enough to know himself to be like, I am intelligent in my body and in what my brain is capable of, and is, you know, right. I'm overwhelmed. I know myself enough to try to really have a decent conversation with you. You're not smart enough. You just see somebody putting a dark cloud over your party when it's not happening. That's not what's happening. And you're over here trying to expunge something. Right. So let me go. If you really actually gave a fuck about me enough to come over here, then you would just let me go and be like, okay, bet, we'll talk about it later. And if you had grievances, then we'll talk about it later. Don't, especially in this moment, try to make this a scene when I'm already having social anxiety. Because now when I wax that ass and literally drag you across the marble, what are you going to do?
I'm like, little white man, don't get beat up at your own engagement party. And I'm glad that this black man is walking away. He's like, I'll leave. Like, I'm rich. I got better places to be.
Period. He's like, I'm not trying to come up with the serum that this nigga's gonna need when I'm done with him.
They showed the coming attractions for the season. I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be a whole bunch of overproduced mess. We gonna review it though.
Mm-hmm.
But
I will say that one of the things that I gained respect for Todrick on is again, like he, like anytime Todrick gets to be in front of a green screen and tell his side of the story of anything, you get reminded about how much he is indeed like paying for everything.
right. Oh yeah, and he makes his like sets sometimes. He's like costumes and like it's real. Like he don't keep setting. He don't got no label. Like he's out here trying to perform with like the best of them. I was just like, but you gotta pay the girls. You gotta figure it out.
But no, when he said, I mean, like
it was a free gig.
It was a free gig. I'm sorry, y'all. If you don't sign a contract that says that you're getting paid, it's not a paid gig, even if the fucking audition thing said it's a paid gig. Until somebody gives you a contract. Because even when you do little extra work, like when you're an extra, you show up, right? I've been an extra for a few things. I was an extra on Your Mama a few times and all kinds of things. You show up, they hand you a very generic contract that says you're going to get paid $100, $50, $75, $250, whatever it is that you're getting. And they tell you when you're getting it. Usually it's either at the end of that day or at the end of the week. You sign that contract. That's it. I've been in situations where there was extra situations. You come in, there's no contract. I asked where the contract was. It was like, oh, there's no contract, but we have envelopes here for everyone. Da 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 da. Okay, I left. People were like, nigga, they gave us $20. I'm like, what did you? You're lucky that there wasn't air in those envelopes. They didn't say there was money here. They said there were envelopes here. That's what I was like, oh, y'all got envelopes. I don't work for envelopes, so I'm gonna go. Like,
I'm not trying to write my grandmother. I'm trying to get paid.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no stamps on there neither. Y'all ain't shit. I can't even send this out. You know what I'm saying?
Also, if you're watching this on our like individual pages, so if you want us to like see and show your comments, you got to be watching it from like a new country on Facebook or a new country on YouTube. So if you want to like migrate over there real quick. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it for this. I don't see it for this cast. I'm barely interested in Todrick trying to do this redemption because that's clearly what it is. Dorian, I don't want to see him just like come at a character.
Because honestly,
like I'm like, why did you sign up for this man?
Y'all should watch it just to see the look in his eyes,
right?
On a constant, like the constant look in his eyes. If it's not a Pisces, it's just crazy. That's all I can. If it's not a Pisces, it's just crazy. I'm like, this is not the time for this.
No.
Like, I don't know if y'all caught him at the right time. Like, okay, like maybe like when he signed up for it, things were cool or whatever have you, and then some shit went down. Maybe he's not just, you know what I'm saying, screw loose, but nonetheless.
There's something there. There's a tick, and I don't want to see that come out. I'm like,
terrible because that's
you're
big
in 12
nigga.
stores. You're a national brand. I'm like, no, and like I hate when the successful business people want to be famous. I'm like, this is so mundane.
Because
like,
it would literally drag him, and it would be too easy. And this is the part, like, I really need, and it's hard because Black people make the best reality television. But I kind of need Black people to leave reality TV alone. Like, at least like mixed race reality TV. Leave white people alone in reality TV because they gonna get you. I was talking. We were talking about it last night. Like this white person knew exactly that how he was coming at him was fucked up. White people would never come at another white person like that and think that it wasn't going to be a problem. Okay, they try to act like white people can handle.
Let me just make sure.
Room. Hello. Okay. When he answered you nicely and still centered himself, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, you're centering yourself in this moment. I'm telling you that I need you to not have emotion right now. I need you to not be going through whatever you're going through right now, nigga. You would never to a white person. A white person would be like, excuse me, no, you're lucky that I'm here. The fact that I took myself to come up out of myself to be here is that. And that would have been that. And you'd be like, okay. Or y'all would have been fighting. So don't. White people, I'm telling you, black people, listen. White people love to do literally y'all how they do each other, knowing full well that the consequences for you responding how they would respond are steeper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not worth it. There's no reason to think that this is accidental. Anytime they line step and be like, "What did I do?" They know exactly what they did, and you know they know what they did. So don't be trying to give them no benefits of the doubt. See them for the face value. They transparent anyway.
I completely agree, and I even said this model, all male, like gay, straight, whatever iteration of this can't happen unless it's from like the show is established in a place of like healing. Like they're coming here to heal. Like you got Iyanla, you got like Dr. King, you got all the therapists combining their powers, like the healers, like everybody, and they're going on a healing journey, and you got supports and it's real, and they talk to them at night, and they got a journal and shit. If it's not that, it can't happen. Like you gotta really be able to like process and like break apart and like roll over that like anger or whatever happens in the moment, and like have people there to like talk some sense and like walk through the process of people who aren't
if you're gonna cast it like this,
yeah,
for sure. Like otherwise, cast it better. I'm sorry, like America, if y'all can't handle the idea of a smooth sailing, successful, easygoing, getting along, knows how to resolve conflict, aren't y'all sick of your own conflicts resembling those conflicts? Do you think that that's because what, you don't know how to resolve conflict yourself? No, all of your examples of conflict resolution are terrible. Most parents don't know how to resolve conflicts, whether they're in two-parent households or have separated or not. All the conflicts that we see on TV, whether false or reality, are fuck. From Jerry Springer to fucking divorce court to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, oh my God,
and like that shit only Americans would do. Like the Chinese would never.
Don't y'all want to see what it's like to get from point A to point B and have a healthy conflict resolution? And then even if that means that they don't fuck with each other afterwards, you can still Cardi beef. You have beef with me, you're gonna have beef with me forever. But that means that at the end of the day, we really came to the motherfucking conclusion that we don't fuck with each other, and we unpack the shits. Y'all don't want to see that
from a real place.
Yeah,
not some like invented
Banshee,
shit or something, or like You just being dumb. Like that whole shit with Shekinah and Lyrica
Oh my god.
on Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion. That's a whole nother thing. But it's just like sometimes it's just dumb, and I'm like, this is the storyline you reached for and grabbed. I'm like, okay, girl, it's dumb, but and this
And y'all don't-
situation in Real Friends of WeHo is dumb too.
It's dumb too, and y'all don't feel manipulated. It's sitting here knowing that these people are doing storylines, right? If you watch in Potomac, you know that Giselle's constantly hunting for a storyline, and she will make your life a storyline for herself. Okay, right? And we know this. This is something that we all are aware of. If you watch, and y'all are not sick of being manipulated thusly. Y'all not sick of literally watching Shekinah pull out of her ass that Lyrica unfollowed her after asking her to post her song, when in fact Shekinah goes to Lyrica's page and the thing says follow back. This is what I mean by y'all. A lot of y'all niggas, I don't know if y'all saw my post on Facebook. A lot of y'all niggas, and it's not niggas only in terms of black people, but a lot of you Americans have English as your first language and you're not fluent. If you are searching someone's page and the things that says that you can select something that says follow back, what the fuck does that mean, Shekinah? You're not fluent in the only language you speak.
And they tried to Slice and Carly Red tried to explain that to her, and she was like, "No." I mean, she was like, "No, girl, I'm telling you." And I'm like, Spice just let it go. I was like, "Okay, yeah, like what? All right."
Like at some point you got to stop being friends with people like that because the drama, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. That's what Pat means. When you cast these kinds of individuals and multiple of them in one cast for different reasons, they have idiocy connected to different parts of like what it means to like be in a group and work together and try to at least get along as a group, and so many failings in those regards that at some point you're going to have 3 arguments in one fucking night because these people don't even know what happened. They don't even know what happened. Their perspective is so askew because they're stupid, not because they missed something, not because, you know what I'm saying, they're already mad and they have blinders on. No, because they're dumb.
Because they're dumb.
I don't see Tadra getting into too much drama.
Well, this is his redemption. He's trying to tame our Bryson.
Yeah, I don't see Tadra getting into too much drama.
I don't know if this is gonna be the surreal life, like how it was for Tamar. As I don't see that. I don't know if this group will allow him to have that. You know what I mean? I don't like, other than Brad, and who knows if that's real. Like wants that for him. And I'm like, we'll see. I was like, this is not the group for you to like repair your image with. Like this is a setup, and hopefully he won't fall for it.
I hope he will. I mean, he should be trained for it. He's got that big brother training.
You can't go wrong than that.
And I mean, no, but seriously, if the way he played that game is essentially how he has to do the show. He just has to not monologue his whole plan at the end of it. That shit was wild. Tadra, you're gonna live in infamy for that.
It was a really viral moment. It was like, I'm saying, like, nigga, what are you doing? What are you saying?
And the editors were so hyped. You could see just how excited they were. They're like, "Oh my god, this is happening!" And the way they panned all the other contestants' reactions. The fade-ins and out the wipes. They were in there having a blast. They was like, "Yo, we'll never get nothing like this again." Because they were like, the contestants were stunned.
I was stunned. Everyone was stunned. I was like, no, you didn't.
Lamar had drool. He was like, what is happening? Because like that was his nigga.
This is the part where you're supposed to get them to like you the most.
Right.
What are you doing? Like, oh, I have it in the bag. Let me just No, you do this when you have the bag in your hand. And I'm
You
like,
come
no,
running
sis.
out the door. You stupid fucks. That's what you do. You don't fucking do it the beforehand. What kind of pre-victory lab? what kind of running around and then get to the podium at second, ass nigga? Like, that shit was crazy, Todd.
Oh God.
So if you could just manage to not on the second to last episode, just let it all go. Todrick, I don't know if redemption will be what he gets, but he'll at least leave this season looking the classiest, even though he's the bangiest in aesthetic.
And that was the Real Friend of WeHo. We might do this again next week. Who knows? But this was our 2 cents. Make sure you follow us on all our other social media, on our podcast, and on Facebook and on YouTube, IG, all that great stuff. And thank you. And good night.
I know.
Oh, we should play. Oh, yeah.
You're so used to seeing the flashing light.
Oh,
Take shots with much bravado.